This is a good question. Like, would you rather be with a man who who is fish on the top or fish on the bottom?
All right, audience, welcome back to Core Memory, a podcast about movies. I'm your host, Cortney Warner, and this week I am so excited to bring your guest this week. She's an actress, she is an improviser, and more importantly, we were on an improv team together back in the day, and we use this very streaming service to do our podcast. Please welcome to the show, Daniele.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, Dana. Oh, it's so good to see you. How are you?
I am good. I had today off of work, which was nice. I slept a lot today, and yet somehow I'm still tired. How are you?
Dude, I feel that so much. I'm the same exact way where it's like I sleep all the time and I'm like, well, this isn't enough, you
I
know?
know. It's never enough.
uh yeah, no, it's not. I'm the same. I'm chilling. I took a nap before we got on,
Perfect.
so I could definitely
Well, it's
relate.
really late for you, I
uh
would imagine.
it is it's 9, so it's a little bit later than when I normally do this. And for me it's like bedtime is normally like 10 o'clock at this point because I'm not the young hip kid anymore, I
No.
got a 9 to 5. And, I have a child well, I have a cat, so I have a cat
Yeah,
to take
for a
care of
baby,
now,
yeah.
so yeah, so she's used to a certain bedtime, so she's currently in her little bed right now, and
Oh,
she's just like, "Why aren't we showering? Like, why aren't we doing
I
that yet?"
know. I,
Um, so
I
I
tried to get anyone to go with me to a comedy show that started at 10:30 PM on Saturday, and
Oh,
my
girl.
family was having a side bet with amongst themselves, like, would I actually make it or not, and, spoiler alert, I did not go. I was asleep by
Oh,
9.
dude. 10 is brutal for a comedy show
10:30.
because like, you also have
10:30,
10:30.
even worse.
Oh, girl, the extra 30, it really does set you back. Was that like was that a UCB show?
No, I think it was that Dynasty Typewriter. It was, it would have been really fun. It
Mm.
was a drag show. I forgot what it's called, but it was not people who have not been on Drag Race, more of an indie show, but they're doing the Snatch Game. And I have a friend that was going to
Mm.
be in the pit crew in it. So it's like hoping to go see him and support that show. But anyways, did not make it out. So sorry to my friends.
Yeah, 10:30 that's just too late for any time zone. I don't know. I when in my younger years, I was like, "Yeah, let's life begins at 10:30," and now that's just not
Yeah,
the
I know. I
case.
know. Life begins now. Or life
Yes,
ends
life begins
around
now.
9 for me, you know?
Yeah, yes, and if you're not with it, then that's too bad. Then you gotta wake up
I know,
earlier,
I
you
know.
know? Well, audience, Dana brought some really great movies tonight. Like I think classics and modern classics. She brought the original, the animated Little Mermaid, and the more recent comedy hit Bottom. So I'm so excited to talk to you about these movies. These are both movies that have not been on the podcast yet, so I'm very excited. So we'll start with The Little Mermaid. Just for some quick stats for the audience, came out in 1989. Ron Clements and John Musker were the directors, and Jodie Benson, Samuel E. Wright, and Pat Carroll are some of the stars. And Dana, can you just tell me about the first time you saw this movie?
Okay, I had no memory of that, but what I truly, I don't have a lot I'm sorry. Is that how this podcast is supposed to go? Like, who has memory of the first movie they saw? I do remember, though, that it was, like, a very, like, influential movie of my childhood, so I don't know, I
Mm.
owned it on VHS, it had, like, the really soft, packaging around it, and I think that thing
Mm.
was in our VCR, like, sun up to sundown when I was a kid. It was just, like I don't know, I think it was to me as a little kid, it was very magical, like, and you
Mhm.
at that age, you, like, didn't know if mermaids were real or not, and so, like, I could really put myself in Ariel's shoes and, like, live this fairy tale along with her, and plus, I had a huge crush on Prince Eric, as a lot of us did, I think.
Oh, dude, who didn't? Like, what? I mean, yeah, he's super handsome. He's kinda dumb. What's not to like,
Yeah,
you
the
know?
perfect man, the perfect man. Handsome and dumb.
Yeah, you couldn't tell the difference between a woman with her voice and without her voice. Yeah, we like that.
Yeah.
We like that.
He just wanted a kiss, and, Ariel wasn't as I don't know, this is no. But, the other
Yeah, she
girl,
re yeah,
Ursula but did she have a different name? I didn't rewatch that
uh,
movie in advance of this.
I think I think it was just Ursula, but she was like a hot Ursula,
Yeah,
versus like Ursula, the underwater Ursula, you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Well, hot Ursula was DTF, so put that out there.
Yeah.
That's what he liked.
Yeah, he was ready. He is like, "Well, who's ready? I'm a prince. I got the goods. Who's ready to pull it out?"
I know, well,
Basically.
I had to rush a marriage, obviously, because in those days
Right, it's like, "Which half human, half fish lady is ready to be my
I
wife?"
know.
You
Oh,
know?
I thought you were I thought you were saying which half was ready. Like, I would prefer both halves were human.
Yeah, ideally in a perfect
Yeah.
world. In a true fantasy world, both halves were ready.
This is a good question, like, would you rather be with a man who who is fish on the top or fish on the bottom?
I mean, I guess I would take fish on the top. We don't have to have sex, it's okay.
Oh, well, if you have fish on the bottom, I mean, you couldn't converse with fish on the top, but
Right.
maybe I think I guess I would do human on top in an asexual romantic partnership. Wouldn't
Right.
you have to be wet all the time too? Like, that's, like, a added complication.
Yeah, at least his bottom half will have to, like, maybe his gills are in the water, you know what I mean? And he's just, like, yapping away, but as he's breathing, his gills are going in and out, so he has to, like, at least have half of his head, like, kinda like the
So, are
Taylor
you
S yeah.
imagining just a head on a fish's body? In this scenario, this is like I would think it would transition if it like, his head could be out of the water, but you have to keep him wet below, like,
Right.
lubricated with water.
Oh, I see. So you think like a merman, so like his like torso up is a human man, but the bottom
Yeah,
half.
yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So like a mermaid. Okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, so
or
yeah.
t torso up is fish. You couldn't even hug in that case. That would be really
No.
slippery.
Yeah, that's like what is that movie? The Shape of Water. It'd be like that
Oh, yeah.
situation.
Well,
Oh,
that was
gross.
all fish.
That was all
I do
fish.
have another question for you. I'm, like,
Yes.
really thinking a lot about mermaid logistics. Do you think that Ariel's hands were always pruny?
That's a good question. I think they must be, unless it's like I think 'cause she was, like, from torso up, she was a human being, so her hands were, like, all, like, wrinkly and shit. Because but that means the rest of her was probably pretty wrinkly, even for being, like, a 16-year-old, she was
Yeah.
still a little, like,
Yeah.
wrinkly, you know?
Premature aging, Botox didn't exist in those
No.
days. Yeah.
I think she's wrinkly the whole time, but or she is half human, half fish, but there's some sort of like a protectant or something over her body that like maybe evolution created for her, like a scales or something that she still looks like a person, but like it's not like how our skin. Like if I wash dishes for like 20 minutes, my hands are pretty. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah,
for
yeah,
her,
yeah.
maybe she's built up like resistance over time. You know?
Yeah. I guess that's true. The other question I have is do you think when she became human, she, like, did a deep conditioning treatment on her hair? Because I feel like that extended
Mm.
exposure to
Mm.
ocean water would not be good.
Yes, I think she would have had to have done something when she's with a dingle hopper, she's combing her hair with the fork. She's probably like, "Oh, well, this is conditioner." It's like, "Why is my hair so dry?" It's like, "Well, yeah, you've been wet your whole life." Like,
I
Of
know.
course, your hair is fucking gnarly as shit, dude, with the salt water, like, and the
I
seaweed and the
know.
bacteria and all the fish shit, so she probably had to do some sort of, treatment from Lush or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Or at least, like, the local apothecary,
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think she definitely had to do something with it because, I mean, because it maintained its shape in the movie, but you think in the water where its hair's kinda swishing around in the water and shit, where she gets out, she's like, "Well, I need to maintain this volume, so, like, what's all this stuff in the cupboard and whatever? I gotta figure it out," like, I think about her time because she's with them for 3 days, but she doesn't say anything, so it's like, what is she doing for those 3 days, you know what I mean? She's gotta be doing something.
Right. Drying out is what I would be
Yeah.
doing probably, yeah.
Right. Drying
Mhm.
out, not eating the lobster and the crab like they tried to serve her, which are her friends. That was like a diabolical scene. I do remember seeing that being like, "Oh my god, Sebastian," and they're trying to feed her like crab, and it's like, yeah, that's fucked up, honestly.
I know. I, though, do really enjoy that scene now. It's very funny.
It is
I
funny
love that
now.
chef character, and then, you grow up and you realize, like, "Oh, all chefs aren't French." Like, this is pretty disappointing.
Right, which Dana, as someone who went to cooking to culinary school, you're not French, so did you learn that in cooking school?
Yeah, yep, yep. I got there and I was like, I'm gonna be the first non-French chef that ever existed." And then I realized like nobody else is French here. There was a Swiss chef, but he was more on the German side. So like we didn't
Mm,
even have one at the school.
yeah. So they lied to you, so it's like, yeah, if you're a chef, you're gonna be French, because like, what else do you do as a French person, you know what I mean? Either you're an orphan
Don't
like
know.
Madeline, and you live in an orphanage, or you're a chef. Those are your only options.
Yes, those are your only options. Yeah. Do you think do you Do you think Madeline grew up and I wonder who Madeline's first French kiss was. That's the question. We need to do an adult sequel to Madeline.
I mean, I assume it's but Pepita or Pepito, her neighbor, who's, like, the Spanish kid, who's
Oh,
in the book,
yeah.
but he probably doesn't know what the fuck is going on because he's, like, a little boy, and she's like, "Well, I have my sisters who live in the convent with me. They've taught me what a French kiss is."
Oh, maybe it was with one of her other
Oh,
orphans.
that's right. Yeah, we can't rule that out because it's like, yeah, what else are you doing in an orphanage, in a boarding school, you know what I mean?
You're
What else.
practicing
Mhm. You're
exploring
prac
your sexuality.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's pretty fucking normal, honestly. So her French kiss is probably with one of her French boarding school convent sisters, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you're bored, it's late at night, your sister who's the not your caretaker's gone to bed. What is she doing, you know? So, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. But going back to Little Mermaid, how did this movie impact you as a kid?
Uh, I feel like it was my sexual awakening, like, a little bit, like. And for Prince Eric,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm fully a straight woman.
Boo. No, I'm kidding.
So sorry to your listeners. I know it's a big disappointment. But yeah, I had the Prince Eric Barbie doll. Like, I don't know. I think I just had the biggest crush on this cartoon character. And also like I think now I'm more of an Ursula than I was an Ariel. But, I think I just, like, liked how independent and strong-willed that she was, and
Mhm.
I was a little bit like that as a child and more so now, but
Mhm.
I could relate to that. So, yeah, I think that's sort of maybe what initially drew me to the character of Ariel, and yeah, I wasn't like an ocean girly or like a dolphin girly. So it was
Yeah.
just like from the setting, it was just Little Mermaid pretty much. But yeah, I think that's what I how it impacted me.
And how do you see yourself as an Ursula today versus an Ariel? When you said that, I'm so curious.
I feel like I'm getting older and, I am jealous of all the youths of today. I have the wisdom now, and if I were to go back in time and given the opportunity, I would do a lot of things differently, take
Mhm.
my confidence. I also, like, think it would be really fun to trick a youth into something.
You still have
Uh,
time. You still have time to do that.
yeah, I could trick a youth tomorrow, I know a lot of them. But no, I think it's just, like, I think uh, it would be nice to steal someone's beauty.
Oh, Dana, you're still beautiful. You've always been
Oh,
beautiful,
thank
but,
you.
like
Thank you
but
so
if you
much.
but if you wanna but, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think about that sometimes where it's like I think about even, I'm 32 now, so, like, even, like, 8 years ago, I was, like, 30, 34, 35, where I'm or 24, 25, where I'm just like, "What the fuck was I doing?" You know what I mean? Like, why was
I
I so
know.
sad? You know?
I know. So when I went to grad school and we did these study abroads in grad
Mhm.
school and like we lived in dorms for like 2 weeks at a time with our um, classmates, and I was, like, 27 when I was in grad school. Anyways, I was, like, killing it in the dorms. I was, like, having the time of my life, making everybody laugh, like,
Yes.
playing card games, like, I was just, like, friends with everyone in the hall, and I think back to who I was when I was, like, 18, 19, living in the dorms, and I was, like, so afraid of
Mhm.
everyone, and I don't
Yeah.
know, I think, like, I take the confidence and the wisdom I have now and to be able to, like, have those experiences with my brain now, it would be a lot more fun. Life would have been a lot more fun if I was who I am now back then.
Dude, yes, I feel this. I think about this so often, and I think about this, like, when we were doing improv and all those things too. We're like, "Man, life would have been a lot different for me specifically if I were just would have chilled the fuck out a little bit." You know what I mean? And not been so, like,
Yeah.
anxious about everything. I feel that. I think about that with college and in my early to mid-20s as well, and it's like that's like isn't that not the folly of youth, but, like, kind of just, like, the dichotomy of just how life works, where it's like, you what is it? Youth is wasted on the young, which is, like,
Yes.
insane. Yeah, and
My
it's like
mom used to say that to me all the time, and I just recently started understanding that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, "Man, if I just would've just, like, gave less of a shit or just been, just happy with who I was, like I am now, then it's like, it would've been so different," you know, and yeah, and just, like, just having that with, like, the energy and the stamina and the physicality of, like, a young person, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? God, we would have been unstoppable, Dana. We would have actually been
Un
we would have been villains, probably.
Right, and I think that's why we were stoppable back then, so
Yes,
we
yeah.
didn't turn into villains. Although, I don't know, some people might consider me a villain now, I don't
Oh, no, no, I feel you on that, where I'm like, if I were everything that I could be now, back then, with all the looks and the energy and all the ambition that I had back then I would have been a fucking monster probably, I would have been
Yeah,
worse.
yeah,
I would have probably it would have been hard for everyone around me but for me, you know what I mean?
right. Well, I don't think we would have been funny if we had
Right.
confidence, yeah.
Oh, dude, if we were, like, hot and young and cool, we would not what would we have done? Like, we would just have been hot, young, and cool and not had any we
We
would have
would
been
have
with
been fucking.
yeah, we would have been fucking big time. We would have been with the Prince Erics of our time, you know?
I know.
Damn, what could have been? So I do feel you with the Ursula relating to Ursula because I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like she never lied to Ariel, you know what I mean? She's like, here's the whole contract, 3 days, whatever, sign it, whatever. And Ariel is like 16. She's like, yeah, I have the hots for this dude. I'm fucking horny. So yeah, I'll sign my life away. Who hasn't done something stupid when they're 16? So I
For a
do
guy
for
specifically.
for a
If you're
fucking
a straight
guy.
woman, yeah,
Yeah,
for a guy,
exactly.
yeah.
Literally exactly. So it's like I don't see Ursula wasn't, like, shady about it. She, treated Ariel like an adult because she's like, "Well, you wanna do adult shit, you're gonna be an adult, so here's the whole thing." And so, she gave it to her, so I don't I Ursula was the villain for sure, but also, like, everything she did was above board at the same time, you know?
Yeah. Wait, okay, I, again, did not rewatch this movie. What did
Mhm.
Ursula want? Just her Ariel's
Mm,
voice?
yeah, so she's, like, fucking beefing with Triton because I think they're, like I
Oh,
think
right.
in the mythology of, like, Little Mermaid and all that shit, I think they're, like, related or something, but she wanted the kingdom that Triton had. So she's like, "Well, Ursula or Ariel's his, like, favorite daughter. She's the youngest. If I have her singing voice, which is so powerful and, like, her thing, then I control that, and I can use that as leverage against Triton," is I think what she was going for, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, fist to power, like, that's another reason why I love Ursula.
Yeah, take the man down. Take the old white
Yes,
man down.
we want a grouchy old female in charge. Oh, I've never said female in my life. I don't know why I said it now.
The
Woman. We need a
woman
woman in power.
with a woman in power in this day and age. So Ursula's a feminist icon. We can agree. She knew what was going on.
Mhm. Her hair also.
Oh, yes. It was just like flowing and like had its own thing going on. It's like I mean, I loved her hair and I loved all her tentacles. She talked about the power of body language. I appreciated that.
Oh, yeah. The body
Body
language.
language. Yeah. She's funny. I mean, yeah. What's not to like
She's
about
got
Ursula?
electric eels, like, wrapped around her little finger.
Yeah, flotsam and jetsam, which I think are like boating terms. I learned that like as a fun fact. I guess they mean something with like if you're in a boat, it means like the front and the back of a boat or something, I think. So I'm like, oh, so like there was thought to it. And they're also kind of stupid, which I appreciate. They're just her little minions. And like, yeah, she did bamboozle a lot of people to giving their souls up. But again, like if they weren't so fucking thirsty, then maybe they wouldn't done it. So I don't
Eh,
know.
they deserved it, let's blame the victim.
Yeah.
On Core Memory
Yeah.
podcast, blames victims.
Yes, that is what we're coming at. This is the soundbite for the
Yeah, that's a
this is the
soundbite.
opening this is the opening soundbite. I will be using that to park my words. It's their fault that she took advantage of them in their desperation. I mean, get with the
Mhm,
times,
mhm.
you know?
And that's why I vote Republican. Sorry.
Dude, not to, like, get into your next movie just yet, but there is a line from Bottoms that kills me where Iowa Debris is like, "Even though you're a Black Republican, you're the smartest person on this team."
Yes.
And that fucking gets me every time, and it's
Oh
so
god.
good, but going back to Little Mermaid, so do you still love this movie, and what do you take from it now as an adult? As a mom as well, too.
Yeah, so, okay, again, I've not seen it in a very long time. I've tried to get Leo, my son, to watch it, and he is not interested. So, I don't take anything from it now, but I do think it holds up, like, it's a
Mhm,
classic, and it's partly because probably I watched it a million times as a kid, but
mhm,
I don't know, I think it's pretty nostalgic, but Leo, like, has been into more of the modern Disney movies like Moana and
yeah,
Encanto, and I'm trying to think of some others, mine is like, oh, we love the new Lilo and Stitch movie, like,
oh,
that
yeah.
I thought was very funny. It played well for as an adult watching it, so highly recommend that if you haven't seen it. But Little Mermaid and, like, Cinderella was another one I was big into.
Mhm.
I, like, just can't get them into it, so we, like, haven't watched more than, like, the first 10 or 15 minutes. But from what I've seen as an adult, it's good. I love the first, um, part where Ariel, is, like, late and you see, like, the sisters swimming and then,
Mhm.
"This is Ari, ah!" Like, everyone's, like, just shocked she's not there.
Yeah.
That part is, like, stuck in my brain from the time when I was a child, but I think it's, like, a really good intro. It's very
Mhm.
colorful and magical and just, like, really pulls you into the world of Little Mermaid and what you're about to step into. Um, so that has never left me, but I think maybe it's more so just, like, in terms of world building and, um, what's the word? Like, really setting the scene for a story or a movie, that part I still really enjoy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's what a hell of an intro. It's like, "We are the Doctors of Triton." Like, that's the whole the whole and, like, just such a what a hell of an intro for all of, like, what, 15, 16 sisters to get to Ariel, and it's this whole show for the father, and it's so colorful and beautiful, and it's such a great intro, and the fact that this was, like, the start of the Disney Renaissance too, like, came out in '89, and I still think is regarded as one of the best ones out of that whole, like, 10-year, like, run of all those movies, and for it to kick it off, it's just it's a classic. Like, I was a big fan of it as a kid. I remember seeing it in theaters, like, for one of the re-releases in theaters, and, it's still I still think it holds up. I have not seen the live action remake. I don't plan to at this point in time. I think it's just past, you know what I mean? It's too far
Yeah.
gone.
It was another one where I tried to watch it with Leo, and maybe it's because, like, he is very much a boy, into boy
Mhm.
things. Um, I feel like but then again, like, he loves Encanto and
Mm.
Moana and, like, other and Lilo& Stitch too, like, other, like,
Yeah.
women le or girl-led Disney movies, like, none of that's a problem, but for whatever reason, I feel like Little Mermaid is such a girl movie.
Mhm.
Um I don't know why that is, because it's not any different. But on the other side, the whole movie is just about a girl, like, trying to, like, fall in love or, like, it's all about romance, and I do think movies now are not it's more about, like, women warriors and, like, girls, like,
Mhm.
saving their families, and their mission or their want is less about love and more about this adventure they're going on, which I really appreciate the change of that, like, as a
Mhm.
parent, but as a kid, I was, like, very like, into romance stories,
Mhm. Oh,
and those
yeah.
always took me away, but I'm kinda glad that that's not the media my son is consuming at the same time.
Yeah, I feel you. I've had a few other folks who have kids on this podcast too, and talking about their first movies, which a lot of Disney movies have come up, and Moana comes up as like the number one for their kids movie today. Which I've never seen Moana, but there must be something in that movie that kids are just fucking obsessed with.
It's so good. You should watch it.
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
like, Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music for
love
it, and some of the
him.
songs are great, the story's really good, it's funny. Yeah, it's just a great movie. Moana 2 didn't like as much, but Moana,
Yeah.
their OG Moana is a fantastic movie. So echoing the sentiments of your other guests, like, you gotta watch it.
I gotta see it at some point. I think the last, like, modern Disney movie, like, animated movie I saw, like, in that, like, for Disney animation was probably Frozen, which I saw I think I was, like, in college when the first one came out or something, and I was like, "This was fun." You know what I mean? It was very different from what I remember Disney movies being, but I was like, "Oh, I get why, like, kids enjoy this movie," but then it became, like, this huge thing. So I think I would assume that, like, most movies are probably a little bit past, like, what I would appreciate, but I still could appreciate Moana, I'm sure. So
Well, I feel like, they were doing this when we were kids too, but I feel like as an adult watching some of this content made for kids, you do have a separate perspective on it, and there are things in it for adults,
Mhm.
that probably because they know, like, the parent's the one, like, buying the movie ticket or whatever, but there are movies that I wouldn't recommend for parents that Leo loved, but I think a lot of the Disney movies, like, are pretty good at speaking to both audiences simultaneously,
Mhm.
which is really hard to do,
Yeah.
and I think they do it really well, so I think, like, all that to say, as an adult, like, I feel like you could find some joy in just, like, sitting down for 90 minutes and watching Moana.
Yeah, no, I want to, and I know they're making a live action one with, The Rock again as, like, reprising his role and stuff, and I mean, I've done multiple karaoke nights around Nashville, like, there's Sid's Gold now, which they do, like, musical nights and Disney nights, and Moana always comes up, and I just don't know the music, where I'm like, "Oh, like, full-grown adults, like, love this movie," and the music is so good because it is Lin-Manuel Miranda, so I can recognize the music is good, so that might be on I might just have to, like, shoehorn that into one of the episodes or just find a free night to do that or something
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
maybe I'll interview a kid on one of these episodes and just hey, maybe Leah will be on and be like, "So what's your
He would
favorite
love
movie?"
it.
Just
Yeah, he would
tell
do
me
it.
tell me everything you love about Moana front to back. Maybe for the Patreon. Maybe we'll, like, get a Patreon going. I'll interview all my friends' kids,
That'd
and
be
just
cute.
that would be really cute to be like, "Why is this your favorite movie? When did you first see it? What do you think?" That would be a cute thing. Okay, so I'll pin that for, like, a thing later on, but, so we can, move into your favorite movie as an adult, which I love this movie. It's Bottoms, which, audience for some stats, it came out in 2023. It's directed and written by Emma Seligman, also co-written by Rachel Sennett, who's one of the stars, and stars Rachel Sennett and Iowa Debris. Uh, what a banger. Dana, why is this your favorite movie now as an adult?
So, also as a caveat, I don't identify as having a favorite movie,
Okay,
um,
fair.
but I think this movie is one that I enjoy at, like, 100%, if that
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense. But
Oh, yeah.
I have a really hard time I have a hard time, like, picking just one favorite movie, but this was one where, I find it so funny. Like,
Mhm.
it's joke on joke on joke on joke, and the going back to world building, it's the building in Bottoms is so full, like, the little details are also jokes and so on point and very consistent throughout the movie, that it just, like, blew my mind the first time I saw it, and I wasn't like, I like Io Debris, this was my introduction to Rachel Sennett, but, um, that's all I knew going into it, and I was like,
Mhm.
It's a high school movie, whatever," but then it was so good. I don't
Yeah.
know, so yeah.
Dude, yeah, I feel you when I rewatched it, and I've been rewatching a lot of movies for this podcast, and, like, generally, like, I've seen most of the movies that are recommended, and I saw this one in theaters at the Belcourt when it came out. This one was, like, one that I didn't pause or get up to go get a drink or it was just, like, it was just so engaging, it's so fucking good, and, like, just yeah, the world building is it's so specific to this movie where it's, like, the football players are always in their uniform, you know what I mean?
Even when Jeff is, like, having sex, like, his
Mhm.
pads are still on. The pads are never off, which is, like, such a
Yeah.
funny detail. Like, oh, I'm, like, getting excited just thinking about it.
Dude, same, and the music, and it's like, they had a soundtrack done by Charlie XCX, which is very cool, and it's like, this is like pre-Brat, I mean, she was already famous, but, like, just, like, it was very ahead of its time, but also very nostalgic, I feel like, because they don't make movies like this anymore,
No.
and I was hoping after Bottoms came out and, like, I thought I mean, it definitely was something that I told everybody, to go see and stuff like that. I don't know how well it did, but I was hoping that that would have been more of a trend of, like, these, like, raunchy teen comedies where, like, people in their 30s are playing teenagers again. You know what I mean? Like, what we had growing up. And
Yeah.
I was
Uh,
hoping for it.
I think in general, like, comedies aren't being made as much as, like, when we were in high school, middle school,
Mhm.
like, let alone teen comedies, but just comedies in general, like, they're, I think, much harder to make these days for whatever reason, but I was also, like, as I was watching it, comparing and contrasting it with the Barbie movie, for
Mm.
whatever reason, I think because, like, there's the trope of, like, the dumb men in both
Mhm.
movies, and where I think Bottoms, like, wins is that all the women are have a chance to be very, very funny in
Mhm.
Bottoms, whereas the Barbie movie, besides, like, Weird Barbie, I felt like all the humor was on the men, which to me just didn't feel right.
Yeah,
Like, I like
yes.
that the women like, yes, the men are hilarious, and I love the little details and the consistency of those characters, but the women also have really good jokes. They've got
Mhm.
really deep characters also, like, even, like, some of the side characters, you can tell
Mm.
they have, like, an inner, like, life, and that comes out in, like, little lines. So you, like, end up caring about most of the women. The only male character I think that you really get, like, an inner life for is Marshawn Lynch's character, who is also, like, great in this movie. But
Yeah.
other than that, like, I think the men are just, like, big dumb himbos, and they play what women might play in a lot of the other movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. They're more plot devices than anything, which is how most women are played in movies like this. Where you think about any kind of high school movie where it's like, oh, the women are just there to look good and to just exist and to kind of move the plot along for the sake of the main characters, which are generally straight white dudes. You know what I mean? And so I agree with you. And yeah, like every single woman in Bottoms has their moment to shine in like the ensemble. Like you have your two main leads, but you also everyone in like the Fight Club. I just think they have a line or they have a moment where it's like, "Oh, this is their special interest," or "This is something that they do," or this just gives more insight into their character. Like, one that I think about too and, like, she wasn't per se the funniest in the movie, but, like, I think Kaya Gerber's character, I forget her name, but, like, she's like, "Yeah, I'm smart, I have a jewelry business," all that stuff, but then it comes back later when, Rachel Senntt's character goes over to the house to help her with the jewelry business, and that is, like, a good defining moment for both characters. It's like, is she straight? Is she not straight? Also, Rachel Sennett's character is so aggressive where they have that moment and where she needs that moment to be a little bit humbled, I think, too, of like, yeah, like
Yeah.
you need to like chill the fuck out or just a little bit, and I think that all kind of ties together where it's like a little comment where she's like, yeah, no one even knows they have a jewelry business and no one's commenting on like 30, 40 minutes in the movie. Then I love at the
Mhm.
end where Hazel and oh my god, what's Rachel's character's name? Hazel and PJ, they kiss at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and,
well
like, it's like a long kiss. Oh, and then it leads Jeff's character to be like, "Is porn real?" Like, she said something like that was, like, such a good line. Like, "No, it's not real."
no, no, this is not what happened.
Yeah.
God,
Oh, so good.
it's so good, and it's like just like the stakes are just so ridiculous too. It's like they fill the sprinklers with pineapple juice, you know what I mean? Where it's like, what a good callback, you know?
Yes, yeah, that was what I was gonna say is, like, the jewelry business and then the
Mhm.
pineapple, and there were several other things, but there were, like, little offhand comments that were made that end up being plot points later, so, like, that I felt was really brilliant. Or, Marshawn Lynch, he was reading a magazine called Divorced and Happy, like, in the
Yes.
first teaching scene, and then, like, you slowly start to find out that he is divorced, and his whole arc is, like, so funny too, but yeah, like those little tiny, like could be throwaway comments are not
Mhm.
throwaway at all, which is another reason why I like really love the movie.
I do too. It's just so well thought out and, like, yeah, every line is funny, but then it all it's like, I feel like, and I think all three people, Emma, Rachel, and Aya all came from an improv background too, so it is just so indicative of them just like, "Okay, we're gonna set this up, we plant little seeds and payoff, payoff, payoff at the end," and it seems
Yeah.
like that's just like I think they're all UCB, people for sure. UCB Second City, I would assume. I think they're all New York people, but, like, so UCB. So it's like they're all just, like, they're living in that world of, like, doing that all the time. So it's, like, something you don't always get, from people who didn't do improv for a long time or didn't do sketch for a long time who are like, "Oh, yeah, this is funny, but also, like, we have to have a reason. We have to tie it back to get everyone back on board." And I think, just that also just shows how much thought they put into this movie, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't
Yeah.
'cause it could have been just like some sort of like, "Oh, we're just mass producing this thing and we're throwing it out there," but it was so intentionally done in the climate that it was made into, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's also like to that point, you can tell when someone wants to write a movie with jokes that doesn't have that improv or sketch
Mhm.
background. Like, I don't sometimes actually, a lot of the time, I don't think the jokes are ever earned, like, they're
Mm.
just jokes to have jokes, and I can't think of a specific example, but I was watching something within the last year where I was just, like, getting so frustrated because it was filled with jokes, but none of the jokes were, like, true to the character, like,
Mm.
really made sense with the plot, like, it was just jokes for the sake of jokes, and so the fact that Bottoms is one of the rare films that, like, make me laugh out loud. Like,
Yeah.
I was today sitting alone in my living room just, like, howling,
Yeah.
and that rarely happens to me except at improv shows. Like, obviously, I'm
Mhm.
not alone, but, like, I laugh so hard at improv shows, and I was getting that same, like, emotion watching this movie, so, like, they just do such a good job of, like, making those jokes worth it. Like, they earn the humor.
I agree, and, like, I remember seeing on Instagram with Emma and Rachel, kinda like they were like when Bottoms first came out on their Instagram, they, like, posted some behind the scenes photos of, like, having Post-it notes up and, like, how, like, they have, like, a goal, like, "Okay, we're gonna get this accomplished done for the script," or whatever every single day, and it's just like, this is I think both of them, like, their 2nd movie they made together. Their first one was Shiva Baby, which was fucking fantastic. I don't know if you've seen that movie. Have
Mm-mm.
you seen Oh my god, Dana, you gotta see Shiva Baby. It was Rachel and
Watch it
Emma's
right
first.
now.
You gotta watch it right now. It is
Okay, gotta
so
go.
good. Yeah, sorry. Well, I guess we're done. Well, that's our show tonight,
Yeah,
guys. Um,
that's a wrap.
but yeah, it's only their 2nd movie, which is incredible. Just speaks to their talent and stuff.
Have
But
you
Dana,
seen Drama Camp? Speaking of Molly, what's her last name? Um, it's her and Ben Platt are the leads. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but isn't Io
Oh,
in that too?
she might be. Let me just quick Google it.
'Cause I know what you're talking about because it showed at the Bell Court, and it was just in this string of movies that I
Oh,
just could
Theater
not.
Camp. Theater Camp
Theater
is what
camp,
it's
yeah.
called. Yeah, sorry, not Drama Camp. Um, that movie also really, really funny.
Okay,
Okay, Molly Gordon, that's the actress's name.
yeah.
But yeah, so highly recommend that one as well because I don't did you go to drama camp or theater camp as a kid?
Yeah, I did. We did, like, a production of Wizard of Oz as, like, the big finale, I remember, and then we did, like, a Sherlock Holmes. So, like, 2 years in a row, I went to, like, a theater camp. So, yeah, I
Same,
feel like
yeah,
yeah.
same. So it anyways, it just also hit that, but my husband watched it with me who, didn't have that experience, and he also really enjoyed it, but that was it's another, like, very, very funny movie that I
Hell
think
yeah.
the people who went to theater camp talked about, but it's the same thing with Bottoms where I didn't hear, like, a lot of people talking about it,
Mm,
and, like, I will bring it up in conversations, like, with my improv buds and they'll be like, "Bottoms is so funny," and they're like, "Oh, I haven't seen it." Like, "Watch it
yeah.
now!" You know?
Yeah. That's crazy that more improv people haven't seen Bottoms, honestly, because I feel like that is born and bred for improv people and for sketch people, because it's like, people and I love the movie Friendship, the Tim Robinson movie, I thought that was fantastic, but I was hoping that seeing how much attention Friendship got this year, I was hoping that Bottoms retroactively would have gotten that much of attention, you know what I mean? If I'm like, "Oh, this is brilliant, and this is just, like this really fits people who, like, do this specific kind of comedy," and all that stuff, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
kind of a bummer.
I feel like it positioned itself, like, even with the name as being, like, a lesbian movie or whatever,
Mm.
and so that probably alienated, like, a big chunk of the audience, which unrightfully so, like, this movie is for everyone,
Yeah,
but I do think, like all that to say, I think a lot of people self-select it out because they're like, "It's not for me."
yeah,
And yeah, and it's like, yes, it is for you. This is the funniest fucking movie, and also
yeah.
watch more lesbian movies.
Honestly, I think something like that was so refreshing to see that it wasn't just, like, guys trying to get the girl. You know what? It was just so, like it was so cool to see how everything played out and stuff, and it followed the tropes of, like, a teen comedy movie, but still was, like, very refreshing to see it
Yeah,
written,
right. It
or
turns the trope on its head, like, I think
yeah.
another movie that I thought about a lot while I was watching it was Superbad. It's like Superbad,
Yes.
these 2 dudes are trying to get laid, Bottoms, these 2 girls are trying to get laid, and they approach it sort of with the same, like, "Oh, gotta get laid" energy, and that
Yeah.
also is just, like, so fun to watch it from the women's perspective,
Mhm.
um yeah, but I think Bottoms is like 100 times funnier movie just for all the other reasons we
Yeah.
mentioned.
Dude, I agree, like, yeah, Superbad is a great comparison, it's like the 2 co-leads, like, it's about to be summer, going back into the school year, they're trying to it's such a classic movie, and I wish more people have seen it,
I
but
know.
Dana, can you tell me about the first time you saw Bottoms? Do you remember the first time you saw it and what you thought out of the gate?
Um, I can't, like, remember the setting, but I do remember, like, the feeling. I've only seen it twice, like 2.5 times.
Mm, yeah.
And I just remember kind of what we were talking about earlier, but the world building, like, I was
Um,
noticing, like, the posters on the wall and, like,
yeah.
the other little details, and the fact that these women that were Io and, oh my god, Rachel,
Rachel, yeah.
Io and Rachel were so funny. It was
Mhm.
that plus, like, if you paid it like, I wrote down some of the posters that just for,
Yeah.
was one for Milk, Simply Milk, that is, like, the football team. There was one that said, "You're prettier when you smile," and it said something like,
Yes.
"You might as well be smiling because, like, a man might be walking by," and it's, like, a picture of a
Yes.
woman, like, smiling.
Mm.
Another one was, "Pineapples are worse than drugs," like, at the
Yes.
cafeteria. So, like, all of those, like, the
Mm.
posters specifically are what took it from, like, a funny movie to, like, one of my favorite movies, and then also football team always being
Mhm.
in their full pads, like, that was another
Yeah.
detail that I remembered from the movie, and I've always remembered just, like, how these dumb himbos were.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things that I think really stuck with me, plus, obviously, I love a good comedy, but I remembered those things all this time from the time I first watched it to when I rewatched it today.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Even, like, when Hazel's confronting Jeff or whatever about, like, "Oh, did you bang my mom?" kinda situation in front of, oh my god, her name's escaping, but the girl that I was
Oh,
interested in.
Isabel.
Isabel, and they're doing the whole thing, and he's like, "Yeah, I banged your mom. I fucking banged your mom," and, like, he just, like,
Oh,
the
right,
whole,
right,
like,
right.
yeah, like, high school comeback, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah, and I'm
And it
fucking
just
your mom, yeah, and she's like, "Oh, you
yeah,
are." Yeah.
yeah, and he's just like, "Oh, wait a minute, no." Like, it's, like, just, like, turning that trope on its head of, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of yeah, I'm gonna, like, pick on the nerd, but yeah, I banged your mom, you loser," or, like, whatever, and it's just, like, being a plot device to, like, get him to confess that he's a fucking piece of shit. It was just so it's just so good, and, like, him
I
dancing
know.
to, that song when they're blowing up his
Yeah,
car and all that
yeah,
stuff too.
yeah. Oh, it
Oh!
was, Total Eclipse of the Heart, I think. Yeah,
Yes,
uh-huh.
yes. And he's, like, in the background just doing his whole thing with with, like, his little headphones on, and they're blowing up
With
his car.
with, it was like a Discman.
Yeah.
That's
A Walkman, yeah.
when was this set? Like, I think I assumed it was in modern time, but then you see that little detail
Mhm.
of the Discman, and then I was like, "Oh, maybe it's not in modern time." So it is very, what's the word? Like, the time when it's set, like, doesn't matter, like, it's ever
Very
yes.
timeless.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree 'cause, like, their clothes and the things they're referencing, like, I know that Io references that PJ's or Rachel's favorite show is Entourage, so I'm like, "Oh, it could be early 2000s,
Oh,
like,
right.
whatever," you know? But it just, like even, like so I wonder if, like, it yeah, it feels very timeless, but it also could play into, like, "Oh, but we're, like, early 2000s," like, yeah, like, being gay wasn't as accepted, and they're gonna and unless you're gay and untalented is what they say.
Yeah,
It's like,
no,
if you're not
ugly, gay, and
yeah,
untalented, which that
yeah,
was a fun one.
yeah,
That one kept coming back, like, even towards the end with, Punky,
mhm,
Johnson, like, has her
yes.
cameo, like, that comes up, and the principal's like, "Would the ugly, untalented gays please come to the principal's office?" That's us.
Right, it's like, "Oh, I'm not a musical theater nerd, I don't sing," and
Yeah, yeah.
it's too good, and yeah, I love it, it's almost like I feel like with, like, all the world building, it feels almost like an alternate universe, so, like, they have the Walkman, they have these, like, suspenders and the colorful clothes, but they also have, like, they have Entourage and all these things, like, what world is this? But everyone is dressed in their, like, pads, like, for football, and they're
Well,
all, like, you know?
and the casual violence is so interesting too because it's like Hazel sets the bomb 2 times, nobody
Yeah.
really says anything. Plus, it's crazy when Punky Johnson's character at the end is like, "Don't you remember," like, I forget the name of the town, but I did jot down that their mascot was the golden ferret, so that's how I will be
Yes.
referring to them, which is
Yeah.
so funny. But they, like, just murder
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
one of the ones is quartering, they just, like, tore him apart with a horse, like, it's like, everyone it's like the purge suddenly appears, and I guess, like, no, but none of the, administration at the school has an issue with a fight club, like, that's also,
Right.
like, just
Right. Like,
casual violence. No, it's not a big
right.
deal, but that's
Right.
improv set, like, that happens all the time in improv where it's, like,
Mhm.
I don't know, violence becomes a source of humor, on stage, and it's, in this movie, it's just very, like, not a big deal.
Right. Oh my god, that's so true with improv. Where it's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat you the fuck up." It's like, "Yes, and I'm gonna punch you in the
I
face." Like,
know, I
there's
know.
just so many times where it goes from 0 to 100, and it's funny, but it's like, that's the world that you're living in. It's like, yeah, I guess we're sibling we're conjoined twins who fist fight each other, I
Right.
guess, you know?
Yeah.
And we have to yes and then accept that. And so I wonder, I mean, I don't know a ton about the lore of the movie, but I wonder if it's like they maybe did improv or a sketch or something. They got this idea because I feel like a lot of movies like this are like, oh, we did an improv scene, or a lot of things like on SNL, like characters that are like they're reoccurring are like, oh, like I did this when I was in the repertory at Second City, and like this is the character that I did. So I wonder how much of this was just like them just messing around in college or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the sketches I've written are, like, based on things that come up in improv, so it's
Hmm.
definitely, like, that's a Second City approach, to comedy.
Yeah.
I on a tangent, but, I don't wanna spoil it, but have you seen Oh, Mary on Broadway? Have
I
you
have not,
Okay.
but I know the whole yeah, but it looks amazing, and I know the
Okay.
gist of it.
Well, it ends with spoiler alert, Mary doing a full cabaret set for
Mhm.
20 or 30 minutes, which I would have taken an hour and a half of just that, like, it was so
Oh, yeah.
but I think that the conceit of the play was, made because Cole Escola had this idea to what if Mary Todd Lincoln was a cabaret singer? And then backed out the entire plot of the play from there. And I'm like, I love that creative process, I guess, where something comes from, like, the spark of an idea and, like, something brilliant, like, happens from that, whether it be, like, a character idea, like, that's these 2 things that you don't think should go together, or like an improv scene or whatever, like, what if high school girls had a fight club? Like,
Yeah. No, I love that. I need to see it at some point. I for some reason, like, they're very different periods of time, but for some reason in my mind, I got Oh Mary and Slam Frank mixed up in my mind, which is also a Broadway show.
I haven't seen that one, and I hope I didn't ruin Oh, Mary for you.
Oh, no, you didn't. I know the plot of both 'cause I have a buddy who's on Broadway doing Slam Frank right now, and I was like, "Okay, that's very different than Oh
Yeah,
Mary, because Oh
yeah,
Mary is not that." And Anne Frank and Mary Todd Lincoln, different periods of time,
and different
100%.
people, fully different
And
people. One is
fully
a
different
cabaret
women.
star,
Yes.
and the other is not.
Yes,
Could
exactly.
have been. Oh, so that's too dark.
Oh, man, could have been, but also, like, what if those 2 joined forces, though, you know what I mean? That would be cool.
Trying to do no, I can't, it's too dark.
It's too much. We can't do it. I Speaking of improv though, and I think about this all the time, and like when we did improv together way back in the day, you did this in like level 2 or level 3, I think, where it was like someone was playing Vladimir and you were a vampire, but you were the wife who became a vampire. And you're like, Vladimir, and you're crawling across the floor, you're fully pregnant with Leo. And I think about, and you may not even remember this, but I think about you doing that all the time, and I'm like, "That was so fucking good. Oh god, that was so good." Because it wasn't a way, because it was implied that, like, Vladimir and his family were vampires, but it wasn't called out yet, so you came on the scene, you're crawling on all fours, your belly tracking across the ground in the loft at Third Coast, and you're like, "Vladimir, I'm hungry," and you're like, and I was just like, "That is so fucking brilliant."
I don't remember this, but I think it would be funny wouldn't it be funny if, there was, like, a sketch or show about, like it'd be like a sitcom with, like, I don't know, what's the classic sitcom dad that's not Bill Cosby? Oh,
Oh, like a like a Tim Allen, I
I
guess, I
guess,
don't know.
yeah, or like, King of the Hill or whatever.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
Vladimir and the rest of his family are not vampires, and he's trying to hide the fact that he is a vampire. That's also sort of like BTK killer. Like, There's something there. There's something very
There is.
dark there, but, there's something. So, nobody steal it.
No, we're saying it here on this podcast, and, you can't take it, but do you feel like after and I felt this way after watching Bottoms and rewatching like, I want to write a comedy movie, I wanna write something. Did you feel that way when you watched it and when you rewatch it? Like, you have this, like, jolt of like, "Oh, I can do this,
Yeah.
I can make something because it's so good," you know?
Yeah, I feel like lately I've been toying with I have, like, a movie idea and like, 1-hour show type idea that are, like, percolating in my head, and I'll sit down and write
Yeah.
a little bit of each, but, I think I am, like, really inspired. I also just saw this weekend If I Have Legs, I'd Kick You,
Mm.
which was really, really good. Highly recommend it, especially if you're a parent, but even if you're not, I think you'd really like it. Um, have you heard of it? I'm assuming
I
you have.
have,
This is
yeah.
the movie podcast, but for your listeners,
Yeah.
it's with Rose Byrne and Conan
Mhm.
O'Brien is in it, and
Mhm.
is it ASAP Rocky or is it ASAP
Yeah.
Rocky? As
A
soon as
a ace
possible, Rocky.
yeah. Mr. Mr. Rihanna.
Yeah, yeah. So anyways, it's about basically a mom who is overwhelmed with like her responsibilities. And so that idea is been percolating in my head about like maybe writing like a thriller comedy about a mom for this
Mhm.
and a similar idea. So I was like really inspired by that one, but it's not necessarily a comedy. And then I watched
Mhm.
Bottoms today and was like, this movie brings me so much joy. Like, If I Had
Mm.
Legs, I'd Kick You is very stressful and captivating and will probably
Yeah.
be nominated for all sorts of awards. But will I watch it again? I don't know. Bottoms, I will certainly watch again. And it is so brilliant. And it's like, this is the comedy movie I wish I could write. And if I was to write
Yeah.
and make something like this, I could retire, like, I wouldn't have to make anything else, but I probably would, but
Dude.
I'm just saying, like, it would
Uh,
feel like a life's accomplishment, so, like anyways, it reaffirmed my interest in, like, writing comedy, being involved in comedy, like, it's just, like,
Mhm.
this is the type of stuff that I love and want
Yeah.
wish I could make, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely can, dude. Like, you've always had really good ideas, I feel like, just, like, in improv, you come up with stuff on the fly and just, like, with different things that we've done in the past, I'm like, "Oh, Dana just knows what's going on." I feel
Aw,
like
that's so
I
nice, thank
mean it.
you.
You're so fucking funny, and you have so many good ideas, and, like, looking back on our because, it's Dana and I were part of a podcast back in the day that also used StreamYard called, Murder, She Joke, the podcast, and we did 50 episodes of an improvised, true crime, untrue crime podcast, and you just always came with such great ideas where I look back on that, and even in the moment being like, "How did she come up with that?" It's so fucking good, and in the
Aw,
moment, and
thank
it's just
you.
it's true, and I'm so glad that you got to do this podcast with me so I could properly give you your flowers, on air. Um, but I think that, like, you're in the right city for it. You live in LA now. Like, do you think you would do, like, any of the French festivals or anything like that? Like a one-woman show?
Yeah, I've been so the a 1-hour show, I don't wanna do a one-woman show, so I'm trying to get some of my friends here to, like, be in it with me and help me, like,
Mhm.
make it, so, yeah, I'm trying to, I originally wrote it, like, with the idea maybe it would be a pilot, so now I'm trying to figure out how to do it as a
Mhm.
stage show, because I know nothing about filmmaking, just putting that out there, like, I've only done well, we did the podcast and we figured that out, but for some reason, like,
Right.
filmmaking feels like a big step up where I don't have the tools or the knowledge or
Mm.
whatever. But a theater, I've produced like improv shows before and sketch shows. I feel like I could do like a play, a comedy
Mhm.
sort of play. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
maybe my next step is to actually like get this idea out and like recruit some people to help me do it. And yeah, I think I would love to do a Fringe festival. And that's so funny you bring it up because I've this summer, for the very first time in my life, was like, "Maybe I'll write something for a Fringe festival." So, like,
Yeah.
that idea is like, I might just do it because I that seems like something I can accomplish, whereas making a film is I don't know if I could accomplish that.
Dude, I mean, filmmaking, I just feel like is a whole other level, and, like, I mean, but also I know that you could do it because you edited 50 episodes of a podcast every fucking week with all of us, and, like, now that I'm in the thick of it, it's like, yeah, this is a lot of work to make little trailers and
Yeah.
get
Oh,
sound
yeah.
clips, and
It's a
It's
lot of
a
work.
lot of work. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work, dude, and so, like, I think that because and from what I've heard from, like, friends of ours, like Alyssa Udovich and all of them who are like, "Oh, if you can do audio, you can definitely do video," because people who do film find that audio is a little bit harder to do, so I think it's in your wheelhouse for sure, but, like, if you did a play and then could find someone else to produce it and make it for you, that's really what you want, you know what I mean?
I know. Well, I think being in LA too, it's like I'm connected to more people here that know
Mhm.
people. So I feel like it's a lot more possible here. Although in Nashville, like there are people obviously like Alyssa and other people who are doing it. I just wasn't in that mindset then. And it's everyone's doing it here. So I don't know. But things feel more possible here. And maybe I'm
Yeah.
like ready to do more things creatively in that realm. But yeah, I've been acting a little bit, so that at least is fun. But yeah, I think am more drawn to like making my own stuff. So we'll see what happens. TBD,
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, we'll have an update on the podcast. But I could see you doing something like the Elysian or something like that. You know what I mean? I love that theater. It's one of my favorites in LA for sure. And I think they do all the weird stuff and all like they
Great.
give people a chance. You know what I mean? Have you been to the Elysian Theater in LA?
No, not yet. I do a lot of UCB shows
Mm-hmm.
just because that's where I was doing improv classes, and my team formed out of other UCB folks.
Mm-hmm.
Hello Wife, if you're in LA, that's the name of our improv team.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, and then, like, I live pretty close to Largo, so I go there.
Mm. Oh,
Eh
love the Largo.
yeah, and then there's some other really small improv theaters, that I go to, like We Improv, and then,
Mm-hmm.
there's a space that houses the PAC and the World's Greatest Improv School, We Just. So
Yeah.
I'll go there to see shows and take classes and stuff, so those are, like, the main places I go.
That's awesome. I went to the Largo, for the very first time when I was in LA, this past summer, and I saw, it was, like, Judd Apatow and Friends, which was
Oh,
awesome, and
fun, yeah.
it was Judd Apatow, it was Whitmer Thomas, Margaret Cho, Mark Maron, and there's another person who's escaping me right now, but I think he's on The Daily Show, and it was just, like, so emotional to see that because it's, like, with comedy is just in a weird place right now, just with politics and everything, and just seeing all these comedians come out here and be like, "Yeah, fuck this shit. We're happy to be here." Like, just, like, they're just standing on all 10 toes with their morals and everything, and, like, it was just really I remember crying, like, when Margaret Cho came out. We also my friend and I ended up getting front row because like, the way they do the ticketing and
Yeah,
all of that
yeah.
stuff, which was really cool, and it's like, yeah, I'm in the Largo. If you can go to the Largo anytime, like, you're in a good place
Well,
for sure.
like, a lot of the comedians I follow on Instagram, like, before I moved to LA, they'd always be
Mm.
posting, their green room shots from Largo, and it would be, like, incredible, like,
Yeah,
comedians that just, like, show up for a night, and it just felt very
yeah.
magical, and so the fact that, like, I saw Mae Martin and Friends a couple of weeks
Mm,
ago, and,
yeah.
I forget oh, Chris, what's his name?
Fleming? Chris
Yeah, Chris
Fleming?
Fleming was there,
So
and
funny. Oh,
then
I love
May
him.
May did a improv set with, Stephanie Allen and some other
That's
folks, so it's
awesome.
just like, only in LA, like, it's just so cool, but of course, like, as a mom, I don't get a chance to get out as much, as I would like to, but, I try my best. I do mostly improv,
Yeah.
shows when I have a free moment, which are also so good. They're so good.
Dude, they're so good. When I was in LA, now and I know this is a bit of a on a tangent and not part of the podcast or whatever, but, like, when I was in LA, I stayed in Los Feliz, so not too far from UCB. When I would drive past there, I know there's 2 locations, and the one I think is still in close to Los Feliz, Silver Lake area, and I would drive past there, and I'm like, "Oh, that's UCB," and then, like, I try and see at least one improv show when I'm out there, so usually it's gonna be improv character shows, so the Elysian, they do a lot of clown stuff and, like,
And here,
uh
I feel like the improv community it was overwhelming at first moving here, but, I do feel like it's big enough that you can get an audience because
Mhm.
like, mostly if you're going to see an improv show, especially if it's not like UCB, whatever, Herald Night or even Herald Night, ASCAT,
Yeah.
let's say,
Mm.
it's just gonna be other improvisers in the audience or
Yeah.
comedy nerds, and there are enough of us here that you could get an audience, whereas I feel like in Nashville or other cities, like, it's harder to get an audience,
Yeah.
if you're competing with other, like, live music or whatever, and then the improv scene is, like, so much smaller, the comedy scene is so much smaller, that
Yeah.
those are the people who show up consistently anyways, but yeah, I finally figured it out here. It was very overwhelming at first to, like, build community within
Mhm.
the improv community, but I feel like I have it now. I've found some spots that feel very welcoming, and I've, like, made friends and stuff, so, but it definitely felt like a fish out of water, like a small fish in a big pond
Yeah.
scenario when I got here, so it's taken some time, but
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Hopefully when I'm out there, you'll have a show or something. I can come see you.
yeah. Yeah, for
That'd be
sure.
awesome. But I have a couple more questions for you, then I'll let you go. I know we went on a bit of a tangent here, but also we haven't talked in a while. So this was
I
really,
know.
this is
You can
really
always
great.
cut it. Cut it.
No, no, this is all staying because
All
people
saying
want to
it.
know. They want to know about the industry.
Okay.
Certainly, they want to know about Hollywood and the industry and the
Well, in
people on the.
that case, I've got some
Oh, you got some tea or
no,
like,
well, okay, the other thing I'll say,
yeah.
if any of your audience is, like, considering a move out here, is, um, I know people now, like my neighbors or people who
Hmm.
have taken improv classes that work in the industry, and that makes things feel, again, like, so much more possible.
Yeah.
Like, they can give advice or, like, they're going through the same things you are, and they, like, know how to get an agent or know how to, like, get something produced, and so that does make, like, a huge difference being out here,
Yeah.
than anywhere else I lived, and I think that's also what's, like, getting the fire under my butt to, like, pursue more industry opportunities, and I've been booked on stuff, like, here that it's just really cool, like, I'm doing it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
anyways, yeah.
you are doing it, dude, and it's like, I see your stuff on Instagram, I'm like, "Dana's really fucking doing it," and it's like just all the potential not even just you already had everything going on, all the talent you had here in Nashville, like, it's now being put to use and being fully appreciated in the place where you have resources now, so it's really, really cool to see that, you know?
Ah, geez,
Um
thanks.
it's true. No, it's true. It's awesome to see that, like, I know our whole team has kinda split off and literally have moved across the
Yeah.
country, I feel like. I think, like, most all of us have left now, except for maybe a few of us have left Nashville, but, it's cool to see that. But anyway, but then I have a few questions for you. I know it's getting late and stuff, so I don't wanna keep you, but, we could talk forever, obviously. But, so I'm just curious, between Little Mermaid and Bottoms, do you see any correlations between the 2? 'Cause the thesis
Oh,
of the
oh,
podcast, yeah.
oh, oh. I didn't realize I should have prepared more.
No,
Yeah,
it's okay, yeah.
I think it is interesting. Both are, like, female-led
Mhm.
stories, and in general, like, a few of the other movies I mentioned that, like, if I like Sidekick You, like, that's also very like, a
Yeah.
woman's story, and so, in general, like, those are the things that I'm drawn to because there's just so much men's stuff out there, and
Yeah.
I'm almost like a snob about it. If like I feel like it's too male centric, I immediately dislike it, whether it's good or not. Like it's just
Yeah.
not something for me. Um, but yeah, the female stories again. There's that word again. The
You said it twice,
females,
the
the
second time
independent
ever.
females. Uh, I love a female, okay? I have females in my family.
I have 2
I am
females
a
for
female.
moms. I am a
Yeah,
female.
I am a female. But even like Little Mermaid, it's like the villain's a woman, the main
Mhm.
character's a woman. Yes, in Little Mermaid, like the main character's goal is a guy. Would it pass the Bechdel test? That's a good question. I'm gonna
Mm.
Google that.
Yeah. I don't think it will, 'cause I don't think there's many other women. 'Cause even, like, the sisters are talking about, "Ariel, you gotta get ready to
No,
see dad." No,
it
no.
doesn't pass the Bechdel test, so that's a f not a correlation.
Yeah.
But in any case, there are the women everywhere, and that's sort of like what I like to see in my movies and
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Those are the kind of the correlations I saw too, and also just like they are like very strong characters, but they're not forgoing like their femininity or their desires to continue to be strong. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they want to get laid, they want to have like a romantic life and whatever, but they're still really complex and strong characters that like fuck up and do stuff where it's like, yeah, I maybe wouldn't have done that, but also in both movies, they're teenagers, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah,
Right.
you're gonna do some stupid stuff, but also they never let go of who they are as people and like their goals, which I
Yeah.
think is really cool, you
Yeah,
know?
and I think Ariel is like a bit of an outcast.
Yeah.
What's the PJ? Is that her name?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
PJ.
And the other
I
one.
don't
Oh my
I don't
god.
remember I don't
I
remember
just
Io's character. I
watched it.
know.
I thought I was gonna write it down. Well, I didn't because I said I
It's okay.
won't forget. But anyways, they're both um like outcasts as well. Like and like the
Mhm.
core members of the foundation Hazel as well, like they're outcasts. So
Yeah.
that's I think another correlation is like it's like they're finding their confidence and they're finding their place in the world and not trying to give up who they are in order
Mhm.
to like achieve that. Well, Ariel, I guess, ultimately does give up who she is. So never mind. But cut that. Cut that.
No, I feel you. Um, I think that they all end up getting what they have a goal and what they want to do. So even though Ariel like does give up her life and whatever, she wasn't overly happy. Like she was still even before Eric, she was collecting all these like human earthly things or whatever. So she had a fascination already. So I think that like Eric just was the catalyst to like, oh, well, I like this man. I already own a bunch of forks and, like, busts and stuff like that in my little cove, so she already was kind of in that mindset, I think, you know? So I see what you're saying for sure. And then, okay, for both movies, if you could had to recast both movies with all Muppets but keep one human being for each movie, who would it be for each movie, and who are some of the Muppets you would probably cast in both movies?
Oh my god, this is so hard. Let me
I know, and I never prep anyone for this question.
okay, but luckily I have 2 screens, so I'm gonna just look up Muppets.
Yeah,
Although I have been watching The Muppets with Leo, and so
yeah.
it's more fresh in my memory than it would have been a year ago.
Yeah.
Um, okay, actually, even in bottoms actually, I wanna put, Waldorf and Statler in both movies. I think,
Yes.
in bottoms,
Yes.
like, they would both replace Marshawn Lynch's character, Mr. G, just, like, both
Mm.
of them. 'Cause I'd be
Yes.
really fun to watch them, like, in the, the Fight Club practices, like,
Yeah, yes.
and then at the end in the football game, like, that would be very fun.
Yeah.
I think, bottoms, the human actor, I would keep, well, maybe it would be everybody would be Muppets, and then I would keep Jeff because he's
Oh,
just so dumb.
I was thinking Jeff too.
My other gut instinct was to keep Iowa Debris because I adore her,
Same, love her.
comedically, so, and nothing against anyone else in the movie, but I think what's the funniest is, like, just keeping Jeff, like, from a comedic standpoint.
For
And
sure.
then Little Mermaid,
Mm.
uh, I think Waldorf and Statler could be they're like one character, right? So they would
Right.
replace, the bird. What's his name?
Oh, Scuttle, Scuttle.
Scuttle, yeah. Uh, and then I think the only character I would keep is Ursula. She's so iconic. We need to keep
Yeah,
her. Yeah.
agreed. Those are solid picks. I
And
think, yeah,
then
Jeff.
Piggy would be the mermaid and Kermie would be Prince Eric.
Yes.
And then the Swedish chef would be the chef in the cooking scene, the banquet scene. This cast is coming together quickly.
Yes, this is Disney, where are you? We have a new reboot for you.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god,
then,
yes, Swedish Chef.
in Bottoms, I think Gonzo could play Hazel's character. It's one thing I
Oh,
did want to
yeah.
say earlier, and it didn't come up, but Hazel, the thing about Hazel is so funny is that she can't read sarcasm, and
Yeah.
the girls going to juvie was
Mhm.
that rumor started because she couldn't read sarcasm.
Yeah.
Then, they're trying to figure out how to get back at Jeff, and, she's like, "Oh, should I set a bomb?" And then, PJ is like, "Yeah, sure, set a bomb," and she does.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
everything
god.
is just, like she just doesn't get sarcasm, so, I don't know, I feel like Gonzo could play that character really well, in
I
Bottom.
agree.
Yeah.
Oh god, that'd be so good. Yeah, and I think Miss Piggy would be Isabel in from Bottoms as well. Yeah, I could see that.
Or Kaya Gerber's character.
Oh, actually, no, Kaya Gerber's character is better because she's kind of aloof. She's like, "Oh, I have a jewelry business, and you don't
Yeah.
even know."
Yeah, and I think Piggy is, like, a classically straight character. I'm trying
Oh,
to see
yeah.
who reads lesbian out of the Muppets. I don't know. Or at least bi. Like,
Yeah,
who are the bi Muppets? Like, community chime in. Again,
yeah,
I'm
let
not
us
part of the
know.
community, can't speak to it, but,
You come
I'll
from
claim
it,
Miss
though.
Piggy. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
I have 2 gay moms. Well, 1 gay mom and a stepmom. But yeah, I'm unfortunately, the gene didn't pass to me,
Yeah, it skips a
which
generation, I'm
disappointed
sure.
my mother,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Dana, so as we wrap up, what is your go-to movie snack and drink?
Oh, it's always I'm gonna disappoint you and your
It's
audience,
okay. No, never.
unbuttered popcorn. I'm very, adamant that my popcorn from the movie theater, I will buy, buttered popcorn microwave.
Mhm.
But if I'm going to the movies, I get a small, unbuttered popcorn, and then my drink
Mhm.
I like to get a Coke out of the
Yeah.
fountain, but
Mhm.
sometimes I'm feeling like I want a icy, and if I get an icy, it's cherry Coke icy.
Mm. I like that though, because cherry Coke, icy, unbuttered popcorn, because the butter can be excessive at the movie theater. So I
And
totally get what
it's
you're
fake
saying. Yeah.
tasting, I don't like that,
Yeah.
and, like, I think I've been with my husband forever, I think he's just gotten used to it that we can't have butter in our popcorn. Leo has probably never tasted buttered popcorn at the movies, and for that I am proud.
I love it. You're like an almond mom, but just for unbuttered popcorn. I
Yeah,
like
well, and
it.
it's nothing against butter, it's just that it's fake butter, and I
Yeah.
don't like the taste of it, but if it was
And
real butter, I might put it on.
right. Dude, that's it. I'm with you on that. You're not disappointing me at the very least, as I agree with you. But Dana, so where can people find you and what do you got going on?
I have nothing going on, no. I do have an Instagram account where very rarely I'll post dumb little videos, and it's called DUMLIL Dana, Dumb Little Dana.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can follow me there. That's sort of my public account. And yeah, I have an improv team called Hello Wife, and I'm gonna be in a couple of short films and a pilot coming up maybe within the next year. So go on my IMDb.
I love it. Well, Dana, thank you so much for doing this with me tonight. This was so much fun getting to hang out and a nice little reunion for the Murder She Joked fans. So, and yeah, thank you so much, Dana. And audience, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you again next week. This has been Core Memory, a podcast about movies, and I'm your host, Cortney Warner. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe on anywhere that you get your podcasts. Would absolutely love the support on there. If you enjoyed today's episode and any of our other episodes, also we are on Instagram at Core Memory Pod. Please feel free to give us a follow on there as well if you want any behind the scenes tidbits or any kind of fun visuals on there. And again, thank you for listening, and we hope that you'll listen again soon.